Hello everyone, I'm Lola Reese and this is Watching and Reading. I'm here to review this book, The Maid by Nita Prose. This book is the first book in a book series that's called Molly the Maid. This story starts with a maid whose name is Molly. Her grandmom just died like 9 months before we start the story, right? And she was the only granddaughter of her grandmom. Just she and her grandmom were living alone and her grandmom died. So she was living alone in New York City, working as a maid in this prestigious hotel, the Regency Grand Hotel. Molly is a very diligent maid that does her job. She doesn't gossip. She doesn't idle away. She's very hardworking and very, very experienced at being a maid, right? Molly is cleaning up the hotel one day and then she goes into this particular room and discovers that the guest is unalive. The guest is Mr. Charles Black. Now, the thing is that Molly is a friend to Mr. Black's wife, Giselle. Giselle happens to be like the only person that like really, really understands Molly, because the thing is that Molly is a special lady. Like Molly finds it a bit difficult to interact with people like socially. She doesn't get jokes. She's a very direct person. She takes everything people say literally. She doesn't get jokes and all that stuff. So, and people mock her because of that. She's being called the robots and all that stuff. So Giselle is the only one that really, really understands her. You know, she and Giselle spend time together like very good friends. They do makeup, they do each other's makeup, they do their hair, they talk about their past, talk about life and all. It was Molly that discovered Giselle's husband is unalive, right? So Mr. Snow is the hotel manager. Molly calls the reception to report the unaliving of the guests. And as usual, that room will be out of bounds to anybody, right? And then a detective comes to investigate the unaliving. The detective is Detective Stark. So Detective Stark comes to investigate the unaliving. Now, Molly is the prime suspect because she was the one that found the unalive person, right? And during the course of investigation, Detective Stark comes to ask Molly questions regularly. Sometimes she takes Molly down to the station, ask her questions regularly. So what happens is that people around the hotel, they seem to be wanting to get close to Molly. And whenever she comes from the station or whenever she has been questioned, they come to ask her, oh, what did the detective ask you? What happened? What was your reply to what the detective said and stuff like that, right? Giselle is one of the people. She's always asking Molly what she and the detective discussed. Rodney Styles is one of the people that also ask as well. Rodney Styles is the head bartender that Molly has a crush on, but he doesn't care for Molly, as you can see, because Molly is a special woman, right? And another thing is Rodney Styles is actually bullies this other staff, Juan Manuel. Now Juan Manuel is a kitchen staff. He's also a foreigner, and you know he came into the country illegally, right? So he doesn't have legal right to stay. So because of this, Rodney uses Juan to do some kind of dirty